applied is gel electrophoresis, which means separation of molecules. It could be used for DNA, RNA or protein, but here we are referring to DNA. Separation of molecules on the basis of their sizes.
We used chilled ethanol to separate out the DNA molecule, DNA polymer, from the other digested macromolecules. We want only the DNA in its pure form. So you can see this DNA precipitates, it has come to the interface. You can see that whitish colored stuff. So we want this separated out now. So what we do is we load it in a microfuge vial and subject it to a process called centrifugation. So at high RPM, this DNA will precipitate down and stick to the bottom of the vial. All the other digested macromolecules like protein, RNA and all will remain in the upper part called supernatant. You discard the supernatant, we don't want that, so you discard it, and the bottom pellets, that is the DNA, we will save it and we will reload it in a loading buffer. We will resuspend it in a loading buffer along with restriction enzyme so that fragments are formed. From those fragments, we can select our gene of interest by a process called gel electrophoresis.
So we are going to do the next step, like how these fragments can be separated, and further how can you select the piece you want for your research work or for a product, a commercial scale. For running the electrophoresis, we need, what are the materials required? We need agarose powder. Agarose powder, it looks like this, and when it is boiled, it looks like this. It is boiled in buffer and for some 2 minutes in a microwave so that it doesn't evaporate. So it is a boiled one, and see here I am going to first tell you the things needed. So you have this setup, you have this chamber, you have electric fields being connected, poles being connected to it, that is the cathode and the anode. Black to black connected, red to red connected. This is the slab, what you call your casting tray. So this slab and a comb. This it has got comb like teeth, no? So it is called comb. Take this casting tray and you fill it up with the gel. Before it solidifies, you should fill it, otherwise you won't be able to pour it. So when you pour it, you use this comb. First you place this in the chamber. Use this comb. Now see, this is the cathode and this is the anode. Black side is the cathode, this is the anode. You use this comb to create wells here. So when you place this in the gel, it looks like this. Okay? It looks like this. And let it solidify. Give some 15 to 20 minutes time for it to solidify. So when it solidifies, very carefully you remove the without breaking it. Yeah. Now what is this agarose gel? It is a sugar which is when solidified, it has porosity. It is porous. So our idea here is the DNA fragments being negatively charged. You all may be knowing DNA fragment is negatively charged. Its phosphate group makes it negatively charged. The phosphate group in DNA makes it negatively charged. So it will move towards the anode. We have to load DNA in the cathode. Okay, wells are placed on the cathode. So when we load it, it should move from cathode to anode, and that is the main idea behind it, concept behind it, the principle behind it. The sieving effect of the agarose gel, it is porous. Just like how you use a sieve, छन्नी, है ना, कुछ छानने के लिए छन्नी यूज करते हैं हम लोग, उसी तरह से this agarose gel will act. So through the porosity of the gel, the DNA fragments will start migrating. And you have to fill it up with the same buffer in which you have mixed your agarose. And you have to fill it in such a way that it covers your slab. It should be covering the gel. After solidifying only you should do this. Okay, now wells are ready. Now this DNA sample, we will be loading it with a pipette into that wells. This is how it is loaded. It is loaded into the wells. The DNA sample is loaded into the wells. Now we put on the electric supply. So by the time we set the unit to run, let the bands migrate, let the DNA fragments migrate. We'll just have a recap on what the whole steps like. First, definition. What is gel electrophoresis? Basically, see the two terms, gel and electrophoresis. So technique to separate the different sized fragments, different DNA fragments based on their size by applying electric current under the sieving effect of a gel matrix. So here in the definition, sizes, different sizes, fragments of different sizes. Why? Because we use restriction enzyme. And a particular restriction enzyme, for example, if you are using EcoR1 and suppose this was the DNA isolated from a source like how I was showing you, and this sequence would be running randomly. You see the recognition sequence is here for EcoR1 GAATTC, then here GAATTC, like that here GA. So there could be at many places, no, it is repetitive sequences. So same way this backward 5 to 3, sorry, here GAATTC, then here GAATTC. So like that it goes on. So the fragments would be formed at bonds between G and A. It would cut, EcoR1 would cut between G and A. So likewise everywhere G and A. So you see fragment 1, fragment 2, fragment 3 of 3 different sizes. That is what we mean by of different sizes according to their sizes. Here fragment 1, fragment 2 so long, fragment 3 short. So these fragments are of varying lengths. We need to separate them, and from these fragments we have to select our desirable segment, desirable gene. Okay, so that is all about the definition. And on a gel matrix, what is that gel made of? Substance, a chemical called agarose, AGAROSE. Okay, agarose. It's a sugar polymer. When it is boiled with buffer, it's called TAE buffer. For theory of 12th class, you don't have that much detail, but just for a study purpose, for understanding the whole process. So TAE buffer, you boil it, as I said earlier, it forms a network, a porous mesh, as I said, like a sieve, chenni. So it forms a porous mesh. So you pour that gelatinous liquid into a casting tray. Casting tray, I showed you how you should keep it ready. Then after pouring, you have to fix the comb. See, first agarose prepared, pour it in the casting tray. Casting tray should be sealed from the two open sides. Then comb should be fixed. Then let it cool 15 to 20 minutes to solidify. Remove the comb, wells are created. Now you can load the DNA. Now you fix this casting tray into the chamber, into the unit. Fix it such that the wells are towards the cathode. Okay, because DNA is negatively charged, you have to the phosphate group makes it negatively charged, so you have to fix it in the cathode. So when electric field is applied, electric current is applied, the DNA will move towards the anode. But one more thing, before when we put the casting tray in it, and the unit should be filled with buffer, because the ions make those kind of movements possible. Okay, so the DNA will have the migration possible because of the sieving effect of the gel. Now that is it. So you load sample into the wells. Now you load the sample into the wells, run the unit for around 1 to 1.5 hours. There is a way, if you go deep into the practical part of it, there is a way of seeing when to stop the unit because we use a visualizing dye. So dye runs faster than the fragments, so it will come to an end when the color part is seen at the end of the gel. You stop the unit, DNA won't be seen, so you need to have a visualizing dye. Then next you keep a tray ready with ETBr, ethidium bromide, very carcinogenic substance, ETBr. Okay, then dip this gel should be taken out. It is very slimy, so taken out very carefully and dip it into ETBr so that it is stained. Then you move it to the visualizing unit, that is a transilluminator. Under UV you will see the orange colored bands. The next step is cutting out the DNA band and extract it from that cut out gel piece, because DNA will come along with the gel, so you have to cut it out, extract it from the gel and purify and use it for the required purpose. So illusion or fusion, both are the terms used for cutting out the DNA bands from the gel. Okay, now let's see what has happened to our, yeah. Switch off your system. Now the next step is we will remove the gel very carefully from the casting tray. So after the setup is off, you will remove the casting tray and you will take out the gel very carefully because it is very slimy. And now here we have another tray ready with ethidium bromide. Ethidium bromide is highly carcinogenic, it is very dangerous. But we need a dye to visualize the DNA fragments under UV, and that too under UV only. So this casting tray would be set apart now. You have the gel with you. You load the gel. You place the gel very carefully into the ethidium bromide tray. So it will take up the stain. Now the gel has to be placed. Now this is another device called trans illuminator which works with UV light. So when you see the UV glowing, the trans illuminator is ready, but don't play with the machine when the UV is on. So just to show you. So I'll put it off and then show you. So you will place the gel in it. The UV is very mild here, so it is not going to denature your DNA. You know, UV rays break DNA. So it's not going to break the DNA because it's quite mild. We want intact strands. So you will place it under this, close it, switch on the UV, and you will be able to see the bands. Orange colored bands will be visible. These are the fragments of DNA. At different lanes you can see smaller fragment at the farthest pole, that is at the anode, and you can see the larger fragments towards the upper end only, that is the end of the wells where you had loaded. At that end you will see the larger fragments. Okay, so that is how the fragments are separated. Now using a blunt knife you can elute out, you can cut out a DNA from this gel for the purpose, for whatever purpose you have done this. So that process of cutting out the DNA fragment from the gel is known as elution. I hope this topic is clear.